Hello everyone, those who are appearing for CDCS. Today after many days I have brought in a new subject. The new subject is very important checklist for an effective sales contract. Now this point is so important from everyone's point of view. Mainly not from banker's point of view, it's mainly from the buyer and the seller's point of view. Now, many of them are non-bankers who appear for CDCS and it is from the book only, the CDCS book. So, I'll be covering important aspect, what precautions should be taken, okay, before issuing that LC or coming for that LC. What the buyer and seller should conclude or come on the same page. So, what all points should be looked at. Okay, so watch it completely, like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon. Okay, let's start. So remember, sales contract is the basic. Okay, sales contract is, if you clarify all the doubts, if you use a comprehensive method for tackling a sales contract between the buyer and the seller. See, the point over here is bank is no way concerned with the sales contract. Bank is no way concerned with the sales contract in UCP, LC. Okay, collections it's a different matter. I am talking about LC only, UCP. We consider that sales contract, if provided, we consider it as an additional document. We don't check it. Now the point is, what should the buyer and seller do to avoid many problems which might come in future? They have to focus on the sales contract very properly and they must follow this checklist. See, first one, in addition to determining the quantity of goods, quantity of goods and any unit price. See, this means in addition to, so this is the basic. Whenever you check any sales contract, first you have to check is what are the goods, quantity of goods you require. If you require some specific quality, then that certificate, what is the certification for that? Then any unit price, what is the price at which you are selecting? So quantity, quality and unit price. These three are the basics. For quality also, do you require any certification for the same? Only just by saying good quality is of no use. You must specify the quality level from testing lab, the certificate what is required. Everything should be specified. So this is the basic. Other than that, in addition, a seller and a buyer should agree on the following points to minimize the risk of dispute and thereby establish appropriate Incoterms. So basically, this is the basic. Other than that, you have to look at these terms. So what are these terms now? The terms of delivery of goods. Terms of delivery. Now what do you mean by terms of delivery? Terms of delivery means, here comes the main part, that is Incoterms. Incoterms 2020 you can call it. Whether it's FOB, CFR, CFA, DAP, whatever you want. Total there are 11 Incoterms. Whichever Incoterm you want and is decided between the two, that's enough. That will solve the problem. Now the point about those who don't know about Incoterms, kindly note. What is an Incoterm? It is the risk distribution between the seller and the buyer. Who will place the goods where and from where will my job end? My responsibility end, and the responsibility of that other party will start. Seller, the responsibility will end and buyers will start. There is a separate video on Incoterm. Okay. So the point at which the risk in respect of goods passes from seller to the buyer, right? So this is same in continuation. Where will seller place the good and from where will buyer pick up the good? Many a time the Incoterms are ex-works. Ex-works means directly from my office you will pick up. So least responsibility for the seller in ex-works. Highest responsibility for the buyer in ex-works. Or it can be reverse also. Buyer might say, you have to place the goods at my place, my office. So that's DDP, delivery duty paid, everything. Highest responsibility or risk on the seller and lowest risk on the buyer. Okay. Who should clear the goods through customs and where? So who will pay the customs duty? This is also an important part. Customs duty is a huge amount. Okay. Then other than customs duty, there is one more point. Who will load the goods in the ship or in the truck? Because loading costs you a heavy amount. In many times, many of the ports, loading of the goods from truck or whichever wagon you have, from there to the ship, that costs equal amount as that of that ship voyage amount. Okay. So both are equal. It's so heavy. Okay. And if you means if there is a demurrage means if the stock goods lie there for some days, the port starts charging you. Who will pay for the demurrage charges? These points need to be clarified. Okay, demurrage. Okay. Who arranges for insurance for the carriage of goods and up to what point or place? Very important, insurance. Who should check the, who should do the insurance? Either it's done by the buyer or the seller. Okay. Remaining terms you can check, but importantly, who will do what and where? Then, what precise risk to the goods need to be covered and specifically shown as covered in the insurance document? Now, this is also an important part. Insurance document many a time just states all risks, but all risk does not cover everything. All risk is just ICCA, it covers general terms. If you want specific risk, okay, specific risk means in the sense related to some TPND, losses. TPND means theft, pilferage and destruction. If you want some risk against, let's say, some terrorist attack, you'll have to cover a separate risk. Separate risk is to be covered. So it should be decided initially what risk is to be covered and who will cover that risk. What commercial documents are needed and what should be shown on them. Very important. What commercial documents, invoice, okay, and other shipping documents as well. So which documents are required? Means this will be decided between the buyer and the seller. They will say, I want invoice, insurance, bill of lading, bill of exchange, okay, packing list, certificate of origin. They'll say it. Now this includes all, commercial and financial also. Financial means bill of exchange. So it will include all. Means we must clearly decide buyer and seller. See, right now we are discussing only between buyer and seller. We are not discussing with the bank. Because once the buyer and seller are clear, then the bank is very easy to handle. Because you have clarity in your thoughts. That's very important. So which commercial documents? Do you require these 6 documents which I gave you just now, or do you require something else? You require some lab certificate, you require some other certificate from some government body, anything, whichever you want, you should be very clear in that. Whether any other documents such as inspection certificate are needed and who is to issue them, isn't it? Inspection, lab testing, any. If you want that a specific quality of goods should be received by you, and if you have some lab which is known to you, then you must clearly specify that the goods should be of quality A as certified by lab XYZ in this country. Specifically you should mention. You should not say I want quality A goods. Okay, only this is called as a non-documentary condition. This will be neglected, isn't it? Quality A means A1 quality goods. Now for me as a seller, this is A1. It might not be A1 for you, isn't it? It is important that a sale contract should be as specific as possible in describing the payment terms and the type of documentary credit that is required. You should be very clear in the payment terms, in the sense whether I'll be paying at site, whether will I be paying at usance, whether will I be paying in deferred or usance site, whatever it is. Whatever you want to decide, you have to decide it accordingly. Okay? But there should be a clarity. If you have the clarity between the buyer and the seller, then the same clarity passes it on to the issuing bank. Right? Site means what? Immediate payments. Within 5 banking days, the bank should pay. Usance means what? Decided date. After XYZ shipping date, I will pay after 90 days. Okay? Deferred means what? Same. But in deferred, there is no bill of exchange. Kindly note. There is no bill of exchange. It is an event-based system. Usance site is also there. Usance site is a different Incoterm. Different payment term, not Incoterm. Different payment term. So that is separate. I won't go into the details now because this itself is a long video and long topic. Okay. So main point over here is you should be clear in the terms and conditions of payment. Okay. In most cases, a sale contract is governed at least in part by the laws of the country in which one of the parties involved is located. Very, very, very important point. Which laws will govern? Because if there is a dispute tomorrow, who should file the case and where you should file the case? Very important part. If the seller says that all the cases or all the disputes will be settled in the local court in my city, then the buyer will have to come to this seller's place. If it is decided that the local courts of buyer's city, then the seller will have to go to the buyer's place in case of any dispute. So these are the common terms and common points which you should always look at while dealing with the sales contract. If you have clarity over here between the buyer and the seller, your LC will be very clear and simple and the transaction will go smooth. No problem anywhere. Okay. So these were the points which I wanted to discuss regarding the sales contract. Okay. For those, all of you, we at adda247 have started the CDCS course. All of you. CDCS course at adda247 is already started. Kindly join this. Say this. CDCS. Okay. Kindly join this. UCP, ISP, ISBP, URR, EUCP, AML, everything is covered. All the articles are covered in details. You receive a question bank, from which majority of the questions are repeated over here. Then you receive in basket test, see same test, FODC, MGDC, that is the format now. So you be from the bank, you be from the private company, see CDCS is applicable to everyone, anyone who is in trade can give it. Not only banker, you can be a software professional, you can be a business person, anything, anyone can give. It's a huge information and a great knowledge exam conducted by LIBF London. We provide course for the same. And see this, now the fees and charges, look at this. If you look at the charges, the fees are, you will see 3199 huge. No, don't do this. I'll give you. Use my code. My code is Vishal, VISHAL. And then sir, SIR. And then 50. Vishal sir 50. Just apply this. See this. 50% discount you are getting. 50%. Plus, now, if you are a banker and many times what happens, this amount is also not, we can't take out this amount from our salaries. So, in that case, you call our number. Say this number. Call this number 919240023281. Call this number. You will get installments also. If you want installments, you can get installments also over here. So that is also available. Also, subscribe to the channel right now what you are watching, CDCS adda247. Subscribe to this channel. Click on the bell icon. Because this channel will give you, you can see that, just watch in that channel. See that channel. Very important videos are covered. So join ASAP, join the channel, subscribe, click on the bell icon. And if you are giving CDCS or planning to go further in trade finance, bankers also require the same. The job is lucrative in trade finance. If you are planning to go there, definitely attend CDCS adda247 course. Download the app first. By downloading, you will be getting 1% extra discount. Okay? Bye.